Blue Lock Chapter 249 and 250 are out and the biggest match of the series has just begun, with our protagonist Isagi already making big brain moves. I'm Brad Martin, let's break it down, and if you want more Blue Lock content, hit the subscribe button. This chapter is titled The Beginning, which is simple but fitting. Isagi immediately acknowledges the fact that PXG is using a high-risk, high-reward strategy with both of their aces on the field. A true battle for the top spot in the rankings. But we can't forget that Isagi isn't only fighting against Rin, Shido, and the rest of PXG, he's also competing against his own teammate, Kaser, who after the last match is more terrifying than Rin. Now the kickoff starts the match and Ness predictably sends the ball straight to Kaser. But Shido is on that man like a moth to a flame. A rather menacing duel between these two strikers that sends the ball back to Ness, which gives Kaser the opportunity to shake off Shido, very fashionably too, might I add. There's one issue with this play and it's that it's far too predictable. Here's the problem. Kaser sent the ball to Ness. Now you, me, and the entirety of PXG know exactly who the ball is going back to. Yep, it's Kaser, and 2 steps in front of him is Karasu on the attack. Look at that aura. He swoops in to steal possession of the ball, but not before Kunigami can get his leg in there, which sends the ball soaring. Zantetsu then gives us a taste of his sprinting ability. I had pretty much forgotten about this guy since he was on Team V like 200 chapters ago. Interesting that he's alive and fighting in Blue Lock despite not playing on the U20 team. At the very least, he's number 20 in the rankings now and actually beating Raichi. Their clash over the ball sent it to Hiyori and Tokimitsu, but they're so focused on each other that Nanase is able to get in there and get a foot on the ball. We're finally seeing him back in action after so long, and thank goodness for his sake, because he's sitting in 24th on the NEL auction rankings. The ball weaves through the players and finds Satoshi Rin, the biggest threat on PXG. And then in the corner of the panel, puzzle pieces start flying. Isagi comes in with a headbutt while throwing an insult to his rival, leaving Rin more irritated than he was before the match began. We see fans' reactions as this kickoff turned into a free-for-all, everyone at each other's throats from the get-go. Now there's one more panel, but there's one small detail in the second to last panel that could be hinting at who scores the first goal. This is just speculation, but look who is darting the opposite direction of the ball. It's Shido. At this point, we don't know who the ball is going to land in front of, but if I had to guess, I'd say it's Charles, the passing prodigy from PXG. He's the one who set up Shido for his goals in the previous matches. It's just a theory, but Bastard might be in trouble in this next chapter. Now the final panel of 249 is a shot of a number of faces closing out the start to this insane match, and thankfully I'm not gonna leave you guys hanging. We're gonna jump straight into chapter 250, where Isagi is analyzing PXG's new offense system. It seems that Noel has prepared them to deal with both Rin and Shido individually, but not together. It's then revealed that the ball went out of bounds and there's a throw-in. It's sent straight to Tokimitsu, who can easily trap the ball in front of Grim with his insane physique. The players from Bastard start to scramble to hold on to some semblance of control. Now look at Isagi's eyes. It's his metavision, and he can recognize that the player most important to PXG's systems is Charles. If he's roaming free on the field, they'll risk losing the entire match. But watching the league's youngest playmaker is on everyone's mind. We see Raichi, Kiora, and Hiyori constantly shifting their focus to him as well. Because of this, a crack then appears in Bastard's defense. Raichi fails to keep an eye on the ball while marking Charles. Now we all assumed the young prodigy had metavision, but it's confirmed in this panel. Boom, and just like that, Charles takes advantage of Raichi's slip up and shakes off his defender. But from up the field, Isagi, who recognized Charles' ability, swoops in and sends the ball soaring above. Such an incredible interception that even the youngest playmaker in the league throws him a compliment with sincere admiration. We get a really important line where Charles asks Isagi, "You have those eyes, right? You see the game like I do." We then see some banter between the two as the ball goes from Grim to Ness. Charles apparently prefers playing tacticians over physical brutes in soccer and challenges Isagi to see who can take control of the match, which seems to annoy him as he calls Charles a cheeky, arrogant little brat. Ironic given all of the worst trash talk Isagi said to his opponents. Naturally, since Ness has the ball, it goes straight to Kaser and he happens to be wide open. This is the start of the plan strategized in secret by Kaser, Ness, and Grim. Ness explains that they predicted that Isagi would drop back to help with defense. So while they deal with PXG's attacks, Kaser, Grim, and himself will pick up any loose balls and instantly hit them on the counter. But we immediately see Tokimitsu spring into action. He's blocking the passing lane with backup approaching quickly. Without taking more than a few moments, he sends the soccer ball down the field straight to the Blue Rose Emperor, who has a look of pure determination in his eyes. But Karasu and Nanase are on it. They're so confident that they can stop Kaser that they're fighting over who's got the situation under control. Kaser sees through their plan Lion and charges straight through the defenders, throwing an arm up to block Karasu and outmaneuvering Nanase. His win, just a kick away. He launches the famous Kaser Impact but is stopped by Rin. I don't know that we've seen someone dismantle this weapon to this extent, and the shock is all over Kaser's face. With no lack of insult, Rin destroys the play and transfers to the attack. Wow, a dramatic finish. So the question is, who do you think is gonna score the first gold? Bastard Munich or PXG? Let me know in the comments and hit the subscribe button if you want to see updates for next week's chapters.